2022 is set to bring Jurassic World fans a brand new edition with Dominion. Whether you're a longtime Jurassic Park fan who plans on binging through the classic films before the latest Jurassic World adventure, or someone who has already seen the two initial Jurassic World films, the best time to binge them is now. Fortunately, with the power of streaming, you can relive these adventures in the comfort of your home. Here are the best places to stream Jurassic World and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. For those in the United States, the only places that you can stream both Jurassic World movies with a subscription are DirecTV and Spectrum On Demand. However, you can check out the first with a Fubo TV subscription. If you don't have access to any of these services, you can still watch them both in the comfort of your home, but it will come at a cost. Both Jurassic World and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom can be rented on Apple TV, Google Play, YouTube, and other VOD services. You can also buy the two films on these services if you'd prefer to do so. With the help of a VPN, you can stream these films on other services. Those with a Netflix subscription can gain access to the first film by connecting to Australia. For Fallen Kingdom though, there are fewer options. However, the Australian streaming service Binge boasts both films. This is officially the year of Jurassic World: Dominion. 2022 sees the trilogy being capped off in a big way, with an endgame style conclusion that features not only the returning Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, but Jurassic Park original Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. That's not all. Alongside that all-star cast are several newcomers, of both the human and dino variety, and promises of a story that will wrap up the entire saga. So, this is it. After delays in a stop-start production, Jurassic World: Dominion is almost upon us. With coronavirus holding back big screen debuts everywhere, the Jurassic World 3: Dominion release date has been similarly affected. The movie is now set for June 10, 2022, a year after its original release of June 11, 2021. In July 2020, the movie became one of the first Hollywood blockbusters to make it back in front of the cameras. Reports indicated that, to get Jurassic World 3: Dominion filming again, the cast and crew all had to isolate within the same hotel complex for a number of weeks, with Jeff Goldblum bringing along his wife and children to isolate with them. More recently, there was an image revealed of new character Kayla, played by Wanda Wise. It's not yet known how she factors into the movie, but she appears to be fighting, or surviving, alongside Chris Pratt's Owen Grady. Doctor Strange ended up having an impact on Harry Styles' MCU debut. Even though Benedict Cumberbatch was completely unaware Harry Styles had joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe until somebody asked him about it, the longtime Doctor Strange voiced his enthusiasm for having the former One Direction member and budding actor become part of the team. Having debuted in the second post-credits scene of Eternals, Styles evidently has a big future in the cosmic side of the superhero series, even if fans are still waiting anxiously to discover whether or not the sequel they've been hoping for will get a green light sooner rather than later. Playing Thanos' brother comes with its own set of expectations, and while the surprise was ruined moments after the world premiere had ended, Eternals effects chief Stefan Turetti revealed in the Disney Plus audio commentary that he still wanted to ensure that Eros' emergence from a portal after being heralded by Pip the Troll didn't resemble the Sorcerer Supreme's sling ring in any shape or form. The portal? Oh, it was just like... that was another portal where we were like, I'm not going to do a circular portal. I'm fed up with... because I had worked on Doctor Strange and I've done many portals in my life as a visual effects supervisor, and was like, let's not do something we've done before. And so we looked around and I thought about things, and I wanted something colorful using kind of mirrors and, not mirror dimension style, but playing around with the idea that he was coming out from a bit of a disco place. But I thought it was appropriate for Eros. Doctor Strange's conjurations have become the MCU's go-to method of having characters pop up unexpectedly, so it makes sense to have Styles Starfall make his grand entrance under entirely different visual circumstances, especially when there's an entire multiverse of intergalactic travelers out there with their own preferred modes of transport. Doctor Strange star Benedict Cumberbatch could not believe that Harry Styles was in Eternals. The Marvel actor talked to ET Online about his general surprise at the reveal. Chloe Zhao and her cast worked very hard to keep a lid on the pop star's inclusion throughout filming. But, the public would have to learn about it sometime. It sounds as if Doctor Strange ended up finding out at the same time as everyone else. Which is probably fine by Kevin Feige and the decision makers. The fewer people that know, the less the chance of a major leak ahead of the movie's premiere. Cumberbatch says that he was out of the loop, which isn't hard to imagine with filming Spider-Man, finishing up Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and completing Power of the Dog over at Netflix. There are only so many hours in the day, even for a superhero. I didn't even know he was, I'm so out of the loop, Cumberbatch revealed before complimenting Styles. He's great, really great. Director Chloe Zhao previously explained how she handpicked Styles for the role of Starfall. In a chat with Deadline, the filmmaker admitted a character with control over emotions was a little bit of a weird subject that they had to handle delicately. Harry as Eros was very much a package deal for me, Zhao explained. I pitched the idea of Pip the Troll and Eros to Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios president, a while back. I love the idea of exploring an Eternal who is beyond Titan and who may have influenced Thanos throughout the years the same way the Eternals influenced us, Earthlings. It wasn't like I suggested Eros, and let's go find actors. I kept tabs on Harry since Dunkirk, I thought he was very interesting, Zhao continued. After meeting him, I realized he is that character, the same way I cast the rest of my cast. There's so much of Eros in him. For me, if he says yes and Kevin says yes, then it's a go. And I'm very happy they both did. Rings of Power trailer Easter egg sets up a game-changing Lord of the Rings disaster. Very little has been officially released about the Lord of the Rings of Power. The highly anticipated Amazon series is set to serve as a prequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy and will take place thousands of years before Bilbo Baggins ever stumbled upon the One Ring. But aside from its setting and the general knowledge they have about the Second Age of Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings fans still don't have much information about the actual plot of the Rings of Power. Even the video Amazon released with the show's title reveal offers few details. That said, the video does include a subtle reference to one epic moment that the Rings of Power is expected to bring to life on screen for the first time. The title announcement video for the Rings of Power depicts the literal forging of the show's logo and is narrated by an unidentified speaker, likely Morfydd Clark's Galadriel, who recites part of the Ring verse. The poem describes the creation and distribution of the 20 Rings of Power, beginning with those made for the elves, men, and dwarves. Notably, when the narrator says, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, the video shows a rush of water flooding the show's logo. That's a clever, easy to miss Easter egg referencing the catastrophic destruction of the island kingdom of Numenor. Numenor is an island gifted to the Edain, the fathers of men, by the Valar, the celestial beings of Tolkien's world, for their efforts in helping the elves at the end of the First Age of Middle-earth. And in the centuries after its creation, Numenor rises to be a truly mighty force, so much so that even Sauron grows afraid of the Númenórean armies. However, Numenor was a gift given with one important caveat: the Númenóreans were never allowed to sail west toward the Undying Lands, as no mortal men are allowed to step foot on the shores of Valinor. For many centuries, the rule is respected. It's only when the kings of Numenor grow prideful and bitter over being denied the same immortality as the elves that the Valar's decree becomes a point of conflict among the Númenóreans. It's a sore spot that Sauron exploits. Turning himself over to the Númenóreans a little over 3,000 years into the Second Age, Sauron poisons the minds of the Númenórean king and his followers, and corrupts them into believing they can take immortality by force. His deception leads to the Númenórean army sailing west until they reach the Undying Lands, intent on forcing the Valar into giving them eternal life. As you might imagine, the conquest fails. The Valar call upon the creator of the universe, who responds to the Númenóreans' arrogance by sinking Numenor and its citizens beneath the sea. Only a few Númenóreans survive their kingdom's destruction, some of whom go on to found Gondor. The story of Numenor and its destruction as epic would be an understatement. It has the potential to be a cinematic TV moment on the same level as something like the Wall coming down in Game of Thrones. It's the ultimate tragedy, and the moment in which Sauron's ability to manipulate the minds of men becomes clear. In other words, it definitely feels intentional that water floods the screen in the Rings of Power title announcement video at the exact moment its narrator mentions mortal men who are doomed to die. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power premieres September 2, 2022, on Amazon Prime. Netflix's series The One combines tech dystopia, murderous intrigue, and romantic drama. The world depicted is much bigger than just what we saw on screen. Season 2 feels basically compulsory to completely tell the story of how a scientific matchmaking service would change the way relationships work, especially with all the secrets revealed in the finale of Season 1. Here's everything we know about The One Season 2, from the potential release date to where the plot might be heading next. Because of its newfound popularity, Netflix hasn't given The One Season 2 a green light yet. Indeed, the series was conceived as a limited series, like The Queen's Gambit, intended to last only one season. But The One was a massive success for such an experimental sci-fi show, resting in Netflix's top 10 after nearly a week. With that kind of viewership, renewal could be in the cards. Unfortunately, that could mean a long wait for The One Season 2. Season 1 was filmed before the pandemic, so precautions could slow production. The earliest we could see The One Season 2 hit our Netflix home pages is probably some point in 2023. That said, filming restrictions have been easier in the UK where The One is filmed, so perhaps an earlier release isn't entirely out of the realm of possibility. If there's one thing The One teaches us, it's how you can do anything with the right tech and determination, whether that thing is a murder to cover up data theft or making a new season of a Netflix show. The trailer for the first season of The One captured audiences with its flashy styling and presentation of its truly unique premise. While there isn't a trailer yet for Season 2, there's sure to be an equally intriguing look at the second season, probably focusing more on the other protagonists, Hannah and Kate, as their stories are given just as much weight as Rebecca's by the end of the series. There's a good chance we'll see some more exotic locales in the trailer, too, as Season 2 will probably show Kate travel to Barcelona for the wedding of her match's brother Sebastian. Rebecca previously went abroad to find her match in Season 1, so maybe that storyline will provide some sun to an increasingly dark show. To put it simply, a lot. In one storyline, The One CEO Rebecca Webb projects a powerful image of a woman in tech, but behind the scenes is hiding a dark secret. In order to develop her data, she stole DNA info from her roommate's laptop, and when he found out, she lashed out and inadvertently murdered him. On top of that, her perfect life is a lie, too. The man she tells the public is her match isn't her match at all. Will her secrets come to light in Season 2? The lead investigator into this murder is Kate Saunders, who recently got matched to a woman. While tragedy interrupted their fledgling romance, she becomes tangled with her match's brother Sebastian, who is engaged to be married. What Kate doesn't know is that it's very possible for a person to have multiple matches with their siblings. Will Kate's trip to Sebastian's wedding end in disappointment or a dangerous affair? Then, there's Hannah Marks, a happily married woman who, in a fit of hypothetical jealousy, sends her own husband's DNA off to be matched. Megan, his match, happens to live nearby, and the two women become friends, which goes well until Hannah's husband gets involved. Season 1 left off with Megan, fueled by revenge, sending Hannah's hair to be matched. It looks like Hannah is due for a taste of her own medicine. While The One Season 1 was full of murder, purposeful or not, plenty of characters survived to return in Season 2. Hannah Ware, Zoe Tapper, and Lois Kaimimba would return as Rebecca, Kate, and Hannah, and Dimitri Leonidas and Pallavi Sharda would return as James and Megan. We could also see Eric Kofi Abrefa appear as Mark Bailey, unless his character's relationship with Hannah disintegrates between seasons. The one role that could change the course of Season 2 as we know it is Hannah's match. That character would play a pivotal role and could warrant a casting announcement in the next few months. It could be anyone, as Kate's story proved, your match may not even be the gender you expect. Okay, stay tuned to our channel, I'll be providing you with up-to-date reliable movie news. Enjoy!